Today we're cooking jerk pork. I'm going to be using the same authentic jerk marinade as I used in my jerk chicken. The recipe for this is below in the comments section. I'm also going to link to my $2,000 first place jerk chicken. We won it 3 years in a row, and that was with a modified Walker's wood, but this is very authentic. And I'm going to take a processor. I've got some tamari, some kosher salt, allspice, cinnamon powder, nutmeg, and some ground cloves. I've got 2 habaneros seeded, scotch bonnets, and 4 little green onions, and I cut them in half. I'll throw them in, and I've got some fresh ginger and some fresh garlic and some fresh thyme out of the garden. So in that goes. And a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I put the lid on and just pulse that. There you go, that's a nice fresh paste, right? Okay, I've got a boneless butt. Aldi had them on for $1.99, and they're boneless. So boneless butt, and we want to butterfly it. We want to make it kind of thin. So anything that you can get that would be probably about 8 inches by maybe 14, 16 inches would be really good. What I'm going to do is take this sauce, and I'm going to cover the butt. Get it into all the little nooks and crannies all over the whole thing. You can do it in a Ziploc bag if you want. But my Ziploc bag wasn't large enough, so I'm just going to marinate it in a stainless steel bowl. That smells fantastic. Nice and even. And I'm going to marinate this overnight, actually. The minimum marination time on this would be about 6 hours, but I'm going to go overnight and then spin it on charcoal. So I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, time to cook our jerk pork. It actually marinated for 24 hours. I'm using my Kamado Joe today, and I'm going to use the Joetisserie. So I'm going to spin the pork around. That's the best way that you can make this pork. So I've started up a chute. This is a B&B charcoal, and I always just use a torch to get it going. I'm going to put a drip pan in the center of this, just like that. And I'll pour the charcoal off to the side. I've got the bottom vent all the way open right now, and the top vent's open too. And we're just going to bring this temperature up to somewhere around the 300 range, 325, 350 would be fine. So this is coming up fast. It's already at 350 because it was very hot charcoal. I'm going to skewer. So I've already preset where I want my rotisserie to go. And that's the right spot right there. Now, if you want to go in the oven, you can. You can go, maybe 350, somewhere around there, 375. You just want to get color into it. We're not doing pulled pork. We're just going to do sliced pork. And we want to get some char into it. I like that. I always like a drip tray when I'm spinning something, because I don't want a great big mess in the bottom of the smoker, grease, and you don't want a grease fire, and it just keeps things neat and tidy. Sometimes I put a little bit of water into it. So there you can see that that's pretty well balanced. So I'm going to put my smoke in. This is a smoke tube. And for authentic jerk pork, I'm going with some bay leaves and some allspice berries. And I'll put the lid on, and I'll just lay it right on the hot coals. Pork goes in, Turn it on, make sure it's spinning. And I always like to do a dry fit. Those coals are looking really good. They'll settle down in a minute. Make sure that nothing's flopping around. It's all secure. It's right on the drip pan. I like that. Yep, looks good. Nothing's flopping. And if it does, what I'll probably do is put a metal skewer in. I just might do that. I see a piece that's kind of flopping a little bit that I couldn't actually get with the tines. So I might put a metal skewer in that. This is my absolute favorite way of smoking jerk pork. To put it on the rotisserie, let it spin around. I can smell the allspice berries and the bay leaves burning right now. Normally you'd use pimento wood, but you can't get pimento wood here. That comes from the islands, and it was even hard to find there. So this is going to go around. It's around noon right now. This is going to go around probably for about 5 hours. I won't be adding any charcoal to this. It's just going to go. It's going to get some really nice color into it, and it's going to get cooked. I could put my temp spike in there too. I might do that when I put the skewer in, and then I can just monitor that on my phone. I'm just going to let that spin around for a little bit. Watch my temperature. Close my dampers a little bit. I'm getting up 350. I'll go about halfway on the top right now. Now, if you don't have a ceramic smoker like this Kamado Joe, or an egg, or a Primo, and you don't have a rotisserie, maybe you've got a rotisserie on your gas barbecue, and that's fun too. Put the heat on indirect and spin it around, get some char into it. It's almost like tacos al pastor. I'll let that spin around for a while. Check on it, watch my temperature. Okay, my jerk pork butt went for 4 hours. I stayed around 325 degrees. I've got some beautiful color, some beautiful smoke. Just spins around. I want to take the temperature up to probably about 165 at least internal, but you can go up a little bit further than that. Let's see what we're at. So my internal's at 163. You just shut the vents, let it spin around. You can go from 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, 5. We'll probably eat in another hour or so. Cooking on a rotisserie is extremely easy. It's very hot. As you can see, I had to put a skewer in right here because I had a little floppy piece of meat. So I'll pull that out. Take the prongs off. Good. To shut this down, simply just close all the vents, just like that. Now, in the last 10 minutes or half hour, if you like, you can put a little bit of lime juice on the top, and some fresh ground Himalayan salt. Tonight, I'm going to do a lime and butter dip, which is very good. Okay, let's try this. That's jerk pork at its finest right there. It's not too spicy, it's not too salty. I just want that little bit of a butter dip. Even though I didn't really smoke it, just with a little bit of allspice berries and bay leaves, the charcoal adds some nice smoke. That is company worthy. That's my jerk pork butt. Thanks for watching.